This is to all of my Vermont friends, acquaintances. Um, I constantly preach on how trash Vermont has become, specifically Rutland, right? I'm sure some of you have seen my posts, my comments going on and on and on about this topic. I pick a category, it sucks, okay? Weather sucks, economy sucks, housing sucks, utilities suck, your fucking grocery bills suck, your entertainment options suck, your transportation options suck. Find me one thing, please. I beg you, find me one redeeming quality about Vermont that can't be said about another state, right? The Just saw one the other day about some building in Rutland, some abandoned fucking old factory building that's been sitting there for God knows how many decades. Because somebody commented on it. Wow, look at how good a condition it's in. This should be in a museum. Yeah, it's like an old mine iron factory or some shit that a company from Ohio is coming in to purchase and redo whatever to make it into a syrup factory. It's fucking Vermont. And you have to have a company from Ohio come in to make your fucking maple syrup. Vermont, maple syrup. What is the one fucking thing that Vermont is known for other than Bernie Sanders, fish, and gay marriage? It's maple syrup. Cheese. You got Wisconsin out here kicking your ass. Now Ohio is going to take over your maple syrup in your own fucking state? I don't even like the place anymore. And that hurts my feelings. Come on, guys. That is not a big red flag for you. The fact that the downtown Walmart is shutting down and they're spending the money and the time and the investment to move it to the old Diamond Run Mall, which is fucking dilapidated and going to be destroyed just so they can build it. These aren't red flags to you people? What happened to the Cortina Inn? Oh, they spent almost $400 million in tax money to put homeless people in there that weren't even from the state or the city originally. They wasted your tax dollars on this. And what ended up happening? Hannaford's almost had to shut down because of all the theft. They had to force the Cortina Inn owner to pay an extra $24,000 a month during the duration of that time period to the city police so they could pay for overtime for patrols because the people that they were paying to house there were creating such a problem for the city that the city was inundated. The police were inundated, could not perform their normal tasks or duties without overtime being compensated by the owner of that same place that your tax dollars were paying the fucking criminals that they were patrolling to house. Because, think about this, guys. Businesses literally shut down because of the crime rate that was brought into the city. Did not exist prior. Was brought into the city by your tax dollars to the fucking Cortina Inn. Meanwhile, Diamond Run Mall shuts down, gets boarded up. They sold it to the fucking to the college, the Castleton State College. They built up a sports rink behind it. All of that failed. Why? Why might a fucking shopping center fail, you ask? Why might a Walmart, of all places, fail? Because the people don't have the money to spend. Why don't the people have the money to spend? Because they don't have good paying jobs. Why don't they have good paying jobs? Because the city and the state levy such high taxes that the companies, the corporations such as Walmart, who brings in billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue every year, if not trillions of dollars in revenue globally, can't afford to keep the place staffed. They can't afford the security to stop the vagrants from looting and stealing. All of this brought to you by your tax dollars. Why do people... think about this. Why is about 20 to 30% of Rutland's population on state or federal support? They're on welfare. They're on food stamps. They're on disability. They're collecting... Why? Is 30% of the working population in Rutland just completely incapable of running a cash register? Of answering a telephone? No. It's because your local city and state has funded this. They have coddled these people for generations, for decades. Just recently, Vermont enacted a new policy for SNAP, food stamps benefits, where they are requiring people... I talked about this a while ago. Maybe you didn't see my video, but they're requiring people to be able to show that they are working, donating their time, volunteer work, or even taking training. Okay? And we don't mean full-time, 40 hours a week. No. 80 hours a month. Half of your time. Part-time. 20 hours a week qualifies you, and you still get these benefits. And what did everybody do? They went, this is fascism. What about the people who can't? Okay, well, the people who can't should probably get a pass. And I mean can't as in you have no legs or arms. You are physically disabled to the point where you can't even put on a headset and answer a phone call, right? None of this, I can't emotionally, I'm too distraught. So fucking what? Figure it fucking out. Enough of this bullshit. How much of our tax money, your tax money, I don't live there anymore. I got the fuck out of that communist shithole. How much of your tax money, your 7% state tax, your fucking 12% federal, all that money, about effectively 15 to 20, if not more, if you're in the low rungs, you're paying effective 15% overall tax. How much of your money is going towards these degenerate, drug-addicted, mentally unstable, mentally unfit, unworthy individuals to pay for their food, to pay for their housing, to pay for their child support, to pay for their everything, their medical issues and everything. A max output for an individual in Vermont, when you consider all of your benefits that you could potentially qualify for, is $60,000 a year. $60,000. Meanwhile, your local government, your state government, was paying $2,400 a month for a fucking shithole 600, not even 600, what is it, 250, 300 square foot hotel room at the Cortina Inn per month. $2,400. What's your rent? What's your mortgage? The average mortgage in Vermont is about $2,500. I say average because some households are much more valuable, some are much less, right? But the median mortgage in Vermont is about $2,500. That gets you a $300,000 through 3-bedroom house, like entry level. All right, I'm not going to say that it's anything fancy. It's not, but it's an individual family home with multiple rooms in it. You could put 6 to 8 people in one of those motherfuckers. And instead, they chose to spend that money and stuff families into these 300 square foot hotel rooms that they completely destroyed to the point where the Cortina needs to be completely demolished. Brought all this crime, spent all this extra money on policing, and for what? For what? Did you get anything out of it? No. Oh, wait, yes, you did. You got an increase in your cost of living, a decrease in your quality of life, an increase in the crime, a lowering of job opportunities, a lowering of income opportunities, more taxes. It got worse. It got worse. How long is it going to take for the state to fix this shit, to realize that they're doing the wrong thing? How long is it going to take for you people to start voting different? Get these people out of office. Force a special election. Force these people to stop giving them your taxes. Stop giving them your money and ruining your life. And then you bitch about how much it sucks there and refuse to leave. You know what? If you don't want to vote differently, if you don't want to fix things yourself, fix the place that you proclaim that you love, get your fucking feet up, get your seat out your ass, take your money, take your tax dollar, and leave. I did it. I did it with $500 in my wallet, with no destination, no place to go, no friends or family, no job lined up, no nothing. I was ready to sleep in my fucking vehicle to make a better life for myself, and I did. Don't tell me you can't get your fucking ass up and get out of that fucking shithole. Don't tell me that you can't change the vote. Don't tell me that you can't fucking learn about what has happened and why it has happened. It has happened because your state and local government, the people you voted for, don't know how an economy works. You need jobs. You need income. You need disposable income. You need to, first and foremost, if you can't bring new businesses in, new job opportunities in, higher paying opportunities for the people who live there, lower the cost for people, lower the tax burden, stop spending $2,400 a month on hotel rooms for homeless drug addicts. Give them a fucking job instead. And if they don't take the job, tell them they get to sleep on the street. Tell them no more for you. You had your opportunity. We're done. You're done. Take Vermont back. Take your future back into your fucking hands. Demand change or leave. Because when you go, your tax income goes. They don't get to spend that money anymore. They are forced to change their behavior. They are forced to change their spending. They are forced to nail down on fraud. They're forced to take action and to change the future for the people who are stuck. Some people, I understand, can't move. You've got kids. You've got a mortgage. You've got X, Y, and Z. You can't do what I did, right? You can, but maybe you're not willing to take the risk. Well, we're not able to take the risk. There's kids involved. You can't have your kids sleeping in your vehicle. I get that. Then you need to learn about how and why Vermont has gotten to where it has gotten to. Rutland in particular, look at the Cortina Inn. Look at the Walmart. Look at the Diamond Run Mall as examples. And you will find a common link between all of these places. Okay? Diamond Run Mall, the owners charged way too much for the rent for the proprietors to ever keep their doors open. Why was that rent too high? Because they don't have the income base. They don't have the shopping base to support that kind of rent without having high prices to support it. People can't afford either of those things, right? Why can't the people afford that? Why can't the stores afford that? Why can't the owner lower their costs? Because of the fucking property taxes, because of the state taxes. My sister owns a company. She'll tell you all about it. The tax burden is insane. How many small businesses have opened up and closed in the city? Start asking yourselves these questions and start asking why. And you'll find the common denominator is taxes. It's always taxes, right? These businesses can't afford to keep their doors open because they're taxes on the business itself for operating and the taxes on the property itself for the business owner are massive and debilitating. When those prices are so high, it demands that the owner charges higher prices to be able to support that business. And when they have to charge higher prices, when they have to pay higher prices to the state for property and for revenue, you have to pay higher prices. Not only do they have to pay higher prices to the state and they have to charge you higher prices, but the state itself charges you taxes for sales, sin tax if it's alcohol or tobacco, right? All of these things, they add up and make it unaffordable. And if you can't afford to spend your dollar at that store has less revenue to give to the state. And if they don't have the revenue to give to the state, their doors closed no matter how many people want to spend their money there. If you can lower the income tax, the revenue tax, the property tax, all across the board, not just for property owners, not just for business owners, but for individuals, for renters, for just the common folk, so that they have the disposable income to go out and watch a movie. Maybe you'd still have a movie theater, right? Maybe if there was a clothing store for men that wasn't TJ Maxx and allocated to one corner, wasn't Walmart and has the same fucking Mickey Mouse Donald Duck t-shirts year after year after year after year, maybe people might be a little bit more invested in going out and spending a couple of dollars so they can look good. Or maybe they'll spend a couple of dollars to look good to go out, right? These things all grow the economy. They create new jobs. They create new income. You need these things before you raise taxes. People will point to places in Europe and in the Netherlands that have, Bernie Sanders always brings this up. Oh, every American, they deserve to have a free military, nobody should be cold or homeless. Nobody should be hungry in the middle of the winter. Whoa, he's one to talk. Look at fucking Vermont, all right? You point to places like Denmark, they have such a high quality of life. And everybody there, they have universal healthcare. Yeah. They were they were one of the most capitalistic societies in the world for decades before they did that. They created their wealth. They created their tax base before creating the taxes. You can't tax the fuck out of broke people and expect them to no longer be broke. Give them their money back. Let them spend it. That will create an economy. And then in time, you can raise taxes to support those social services that you so deeply cherish. Right now, those social services are the things that are destroying your cities and your state. They are the thing that is driving Walmart out. They are the thing that closed the Diamond Run Mall. They are the thing that's taken the extra money out of the pockets of your very fucking people so that they no longer can afford to live on their own and now have to ask for those very benefits. It is a cannibalistic system. You raise taxes, the people at the very bottom that are the most vulnerable, guess what? They now fall into the category of the needy because they can no longer survive on their own. So now they have to get food stamps. Now they have to ask for social fucking welfare and shit like that. And when that happens, guess what? Oh, now our spending goes up. When spending goes up, taxes go up. And it's a vicious cycle. You have to reverse the cycle by lowering taxes so that people have money in their wallet so that they can go and spend. When they can go and spend that money, it puts money back into the economy. When money goes back into the economy, investments happen. And when investments happen, the economy grows. That creates jobs. It brings people in, etc., 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 etc. Motherfucking Christ, I can't believe that I'm the one that has to explain this shit to you people. Do I have to come back and run for mayor? Give me a couple of years, maybe I will. But right now, I couldn't afford to come back and run for mayor because my old apartment went from 700 to 1700. That's on fucking Terrell Street. It ain't no fucking... My parents' mortgage is less than that. And you wonder why people can't buy houses. Everybody during COVID came in from New York, New Hampshire, Connecticut, bought up all the properties because everybody who lives local is too fucking poor to buy the goddamn properties. And what they do with them? They rented them out. They rented them out for higher prices than the locals can even afford so that they bring in even more people from outside the state. These people aren't contributing to the economy. They're draining from the economy. Let's not even, speaking of drain on the economy, let's not even bring into the fact that ICE is in Vermont. If ICE is in Vermont, a state of, 600,000 people with a low income and low and high taxes, how much of your money do you think is going to paying for these motherfucking Somalians? These fucking, don't even get me started on that shit. I hope I made my point fucking clear. It is an easy, simple fix to turn the state around. But you guys keep voting against your own self-interest, raising your own taxes, worsening your own situations, asking for more in the process. You're fucking retarded.